early picks, and well, they've done it again in this round. Magisk with an insta-kill over towards B. That's the rifle as well.
Yeah, maybe the pressure, you know, Heroic have this sort of confidence you can see in the interviews before. They have the confidence, Katie, in saying they're the best team in Denmark. I feel like that confidence can come back to bite them a little bit if they feel like they're unbeatable in these opening duels. It hasn't been working out for them. They're giving these fights away, and Dupree, nice double on the transfer. Katie and Borat both going down. It does leave Tessus and Nico alone into a 2v5. And Astralis, this round's all about just limiting the casualties, right? Keeping as much money in the bank as possible moving forward. And Heroic, well, they're going to be down to the full eco into this next round. Absolutely nothing to play with. So Astralis will get a goofy rounds now on this T side.
Just have a look at these nades, make sure they're all in the right spots. Not really going to matter too much because Heroic have basically no one here. Tessus does have a molly. Maybe that could slow things down, but there's still so much time for Astralis. They should be good to go here. Bomb being planted. Tessus has the right angle, but the box defends the bomb planter. And now it's all about just maybe damage from Heroic, maybe even saving these guns. There's very little to be done here for the Heroic side. It is going to be Astralis taking that 3-2 lead. Glaive's even getting kills through the smoke, because why not? That's just what Glaive does.
That is what Glaive does. He's here on the server. We missed him. He's now back, taking kills through smokes. And Astralis heading into the lead. Will be one round up. Heroic going into this next one, they will just have Nico on a deagle. The rest of the team should be on the USP, zero investment. Astralis should be taking this next one. Absolutely no problem. Oh, an M4. Now that's a nice little steal there. Thank you very much. Nico will take that.
I was going to say, I thought there was an M4 there. I wasn't sure if it got shot off the map or something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Nico going out in the scavenge, finds it. Well, at least that's something to play with here. Maybe you can do something with it.
Just touching back on that point I was making previously in terms of Heroic losing those man advantages, the other concern with that is that Astralis are the worst team in the world to lose that man advantage against, right? Stats-wise, Astralis have the highest win rate when they get that man advantage. 77% of the rounds they win once they have that man advantage. And I don't know about you, Dinko, but if I were Heroic, I wouldn't like those odds.
No. Another statistic for Astralis that you kind of touched on previously, we can talk about here as well, is just their ability to win those second round force buys after they lose pistol rounds as well. I feel like that's something is just ridiculous. The only team that beats them out is Tyloo, and well, they play in the Asian scene, so
that doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly, right. They're
Everyone's
just so much more gifted than us. But here, this is impressive. Astralis are constantly playing against the best teams in the world, and I'm going to say the best team in the world at the second round force buys. So you're never going to be able to give any inch of it to Astralis, because they will take a mile. And so Heroic, any opportunity you give to Astralis, they are going to take it. You're going to have the tightest ship here going up against Astralis and Vertigo.
Well, Nico's got that 1M4 into this round for Heroic. He was someone who had an unbelievably good CT half of Vertigo against Astralis previously. I think he got 17 kills in the first 10 rounds. It was an unreal start, and Stound's got the flank. Easy kill with the USP. There shouldn't be too much more where that came from, especially in this long-range fight. Stound just going back and forth and hoping he can bait some players in. But Tag is taking some control towards the A site itself, and Tessus about to be caught out. Nico may be able to get a kill or two, but it's unlikely he'll get much more than that, and he's not even allowed it. Glaive and Device, both with clean kills. Astralis getting off to a good start here. 4-2 lead for them. However, here comes the buy for Heroic. Won't be a perfect buy, mind you.
No, it certainly will be lacking across the board. You can immediately see the amount of FAMAS that they have on the server. There's 3 of them in play. That does allow them to get a little bit more utility. And against Astralis, you kind of want to have the utility. So you can definitely understand the reasoning as to why they have gone to the FAMAS instead. Let's see if it works out for them. Still could be too much of a weakness. They're going to boost Dupree up over here on B to try and go for this opening pick, or at least get him into a position where it can be later useful. Over the top, he's just going to take the fight. He's going to win it as well. Bork going down. Oh, down. He's out of there as well. Dupree has found a huge opening to this B bomb site. And to be honest, Alex, that might just be enough here. Astralis are giving themselves such a huge advantage into round number 7. But Cadian's going to catch out Device. Now that's a little bit unorthodox. The Heroic, still a man down. But that kill pulls them just a little bit closer.
dupreeh has been a man in form recently with some of his games, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's just hit a whole nother level in some of these recent games. A dastardly double onto the B site. Like you said, though, not quite the same old Astralis with Device walking onto B alone. That AWP has actually been recovered by NiKo as well, so this round certainly isn't over. Astralis are continuing to take their time. 35 seconds left on the clock, and NiKo is just rotating away from B at the wrong time. This might be another save for Heroic if he can't get back to the site.
Yeah, I don't think he is going to be able to get back there. And I don't think it's the worst save either for Heroic. Obviously, you want to try and get these round wins, but you've got the AWP, you've got the M4. You take a look at the money, and it's not there. The problem I do have for Heroic is, at what point are you giving Astralis too much? They have to go for the round win. Madge's taking a headshot, Texas pulling one back, NiKo following up, but the round is done. Astralis will find themselves the pickup, and there's 5-2 on the board. No AWP, nothing saved over for Heroic, and that does put them in a half-buy situation yet again.
Bit of solo aggression into the mix. dupreeh channeling his inner Bubsky, maybe.
I mean, they have him on the bench.
Exactly. Nice couple of kills onto the B site. I did get a little bit scared, Dinko. When I saw dupreeh was planting the bomb on like 29 health, the nade nearly killed him. The nade nearly slowed that bomb plant even further. That came a little bit close, but it worked out okay for Astralis. NiKo playing up close to the smoke. This angle is always surprisingly effective with the Deegs. The flank, though, has been caught out. TSS falling early.
Oh, NiKo.
In the smoke, though.
He'll find this surely, but Device will turn around. He catches him. Estertag following up as well. It's Astralis just all over the pistols, not getting anything. That was a chance. That was a chance there for NiKo. But Device turning around, catching him. Astralis up 6-2 now. This is a fantastic start for Astralis, and one Heroic will not be too happy with. They haven't been able to compete. They've tried and tried with these force buys, these rounds where they've decided to go for the buy when their money was not in a good spot. They were desperately trying to be able to compete in these early rounds, Alex, but Astralis have just edged it out. And that is a bit of a problem now for Heroic, because now they have a lot of work to do.
Definitely could be a problem for them as this game goes on. Down looking for exit kills. Body shots might get these kills, but he's not even going to go for that. He will just save the Deeg. So the buy finally coming through. Double AWP set up for Heroic on their CT side. Cadian and Stown both picking up those snipers. No kit yet. No kit for Heroic, Dinko. They have everything they could want except for that kit. So that does leave them a little limited. It means they can't play retake on A, really, unless they're going to be very fast. But they've got those AWPs. If they can get those early kills, they won't care. And Stown's already got one.
I did want to just bring up the point that these AWPs from the early signs have been very important for Heroic. I feel like this is what could turn the tides in this half. And well, what a shutdown. Astralis have just been picked apart, torn to pieces. As Estertag and Device left alone in a 2v5, what can they really hope to do here? Absolutely nothing. As Test is stuck on the side, as long as there's no monumental error from Heroic, this should be a locked-in round in convincing fashion. Device left alone. 1 versus 4 now. Desperately hoping for a mistake from Heroic, but they are not going to give him an easy fight. NiKo just tears his head right off, and that is the round you want if you're Heroic. That's a big step up across the board. I believe the only player that didn't get a kill in that round was Testis, but overall, fantastic stuff from Heroic.
And that's a confidence booster for Heroic right there. That round win. They won the individual fights. Their aggressive play worked over at B to begin with. They didn't lose the opening kill this time. And they just won a bunch of fights across the board. And I'm really glad that Heroic win a round like that, just for their confidence. Because I think that's the main thing with this Heroic team. If they play with confidence, they can actually beat the best in the world. We've already seen it.
Yeah, I mean, second on the HLTV rankings in the world right now. Astralis number 1. This is, I agree with Maniac. It's not quite a rivalry just yet. I mainly say that because any team that has had a potential rivalry or what we consider a rivalry against Astralis generally gets battered within a couple of matches, right? The only team that's kind of been able to consistently have what we call a rivalry against them is, I feel, Liquid. And even then, Liquid were kind of... They lost every final until there was a patch of bad form, right, from Astralis. So I feel like Astralis, if there's a team that is giving them problems, if there's a team that's a little bit of a nuisance towards them, I feel like they focus up and it can become very difficult if you play them consistently. I'd love to see this. A domestic battle of Heroic can keep this up and consistently battle against Astralis. Well, that could be a real storyline to build on. Test this. Just boost. Oh, it's going to work. He spotted the bomb. He's stuck in the head. He's stuck in the head of his teammate, but he will get away safely. Well, the distraction is actually enough to allow Bort to pick up a double, Alex.
Yeah, Bart switching up his position, normally playing on that B site, but in this one he's at the sandbags, and the molly almost takes down Dupree. 6 health points remaining on him. Borup's trying to walk back to safety. Those smokes are going to fade shortly. I don't think Astralis have spotted him, though. He's able to get back to the site. Device realizing that he might have just lost that opportunity. 45 seconds left for Astralis. Barely any nades for them. They're trying to molly the sandbags. They're hoping that they can get a kill onto A. But that man has already gone back to the site itself. And now Heroic can just sit back, turtle up, and they should win this round every time.
Yeah, they've done enough to get themselves in a very comfortable position. It would take absolute heroics from Device and Dupree, no pun intended, to win this round. And 17 seconds left. Utility is starting to come up. Smokes deployed. Itchy grenade in hand for Stown. I'll be waiting for the prime chance here, but 10 seconds now, Alex. This is getting a little bit worrying for Astralis. You go for the bomb plant, nade over the top. That'll deny. Surely at this point, Dupree out of that. Now it's just Device scouring away. He wants to die before time, and in fact, he will. Stown gives him that at least. 4 rounds on the board for Heroic. And I like this. As soon as they pulled out those double ops, it's been nothing but success. I mean, 2 rounds in a row, of course, Alex, but I have to say, these rounds have been convincing from Heroic, which is a huge turnaround and exactly what they needed.
Yeah, having those double AWPs, I think, has been a big help. Like you said, I think having one of those AWPs on B especially means they can be a bit more comfortable leaving that AWP solo holding the site and then maybe rotating more over towards A. And we haven't even really seen Heroic get too aggressive into the ramp itself. Quite often, you'll see teams push all the way down, try and get up close and personal. Generally, though, Heroic have just been fighting more back towards the site or even just towards the top of ramp. And that's been working really well for them so far. In this round, though, there's no one fighting for the ramp, Dinko. There's only Tesses on this A side of the map. Astralis so far have been keeping the pace pretty slow, though, so Heroic might have a bit of time to try and figure this one out.
Yeah, Astralis have been relatively slow in this approach, and like you said, that does have time or allow time for Heroic to figure out where they want to go with the rotates and get the players in position, adjust the defense accordingly. And they've already done that. This A hold is much better. They've got a crossfire with Testis up on top of the boost. Stown playing towards elevator for that initial peak. I feel like Utility will come in and neutralize this spot very shortly, though. Stown just holding just in case. Just in case there's a contact plate from Astralis. And in fact, they will start to move forward. 38 seconds now on that timer. Smokes are up. Utility being used up. Nearly the shot from Device, but Testis will survive. And now the full rotation coming in from Heroic. They're ready for this retake. Astralis do get that bomb down, but it's a 5v5 retake here on this A bomb site. Heroic taking their time, ready to swing on in, ready to take these fights as Astralis sit back in their post plants. Device has taken a lot of damage from the itchy grenade coming in towards his position. He'll re-smoke off in case of the Molotov coming through, and that's worked out for him. He'll jump up on top, now looking for the kills. Heroic have not presented themselves just yet, and now they swing on by. It's Testis with the first kill on the Glaive. So far, not so good for Astralis, but Device gets one, still inside of the smoke. They're pulling him into the crosshairs of Astralis, and they're tearing them apart. Borth and Stown trying to get the round on the board here, but it is just Estetag, and he is delayed long enough for Astralis to win the round. Heroic just pulled into the chaos, and Astralis to walk away with it.
At a minimum, Heroic saved their 2 AWPs, but I thought they were going to use their nades to maybe try and deny the plant initially. That plant came down so quickly, Dinko. I didn't even realize it had happened for a second, because I thought we were going to see the nades. I thought we were going to see the spam, but Astralis get the bomb planted so fast that Heroic have to try and use their nades for the retake. And the problem with that is that Astralis still had nades of their own as well, so everyone gets stalled out. So much time bought by Astralis. They win their 7th round, and they go straight back to the ramp.
And that's the problem with the 5v5 retakes. It gets a little bit messy. It's not the most orthodox round to be played out. It can be a little bit confusing at times. That's the Tiger with the opening kill. Testis immediately getting the 1 trade, but nearly the 2nd kill that. And that would have given Heroic a huge advantage into round number 12. But they will get away with it. Astralis will still hold 4 players.
And Astralis happy to keep it slow after the initial exchange. Smoke's being traded out on the ramp. That nade, oh, it is going to do some damage onto Clave. Testis is now getting up close to this smoke. He's still alone on this A side of the map. He has to be very careful here that he doesn't give this up. And you can see now he realizes it, just going back to the bomb site.
Yeah, I love the fallback here from Testis. If he gets caught out in the ramp there, he goes down immediately, which was pretty likely. Maybe he gets 1 kill, but he's instantly traded there, and that gives the bomb site up to Astralis. The rotation would be relatively slow from Heroic. So Testis making the right call and falling back. Still a 4v4, 30 seconds left. Very passive setups from both teams in terms of how they're approaching this one. Slow and methodical for Astralis. Heroic not really giving them anything. Smoke in to delay this short push, and while 18 seconds, Astralis are going to have to go through it if they want to get towards the site, and Testis is aware of that. Comes down to whether or not the timing works out for him. Glaive goes through. Testis looking for the kill. He'll find it onto Glaive, and now has the cross covered as well. He's going to shut down Estetag, looking for Dupree, and well, what a round from Testis. He's managed to make it work, and Magisk was just nowhere near the action. It's a 5th round for Heroic, and Astralis so tentative in their T-side approach.
Yeah, Heroic again just able to hold on to their nades as well. And I think that's partly because now you've got this double AWP setup. You don't need to use your nades early. You can just hold early angles with the AWP. You have nades left. You had that smoke left to smoke off short towards the end of the round. That just completely throws Astralis off there. Testis is able to make the most of it up close behind the smoke. And Astralis had no way they were going to get onto the bomb site at that point. Heroic had everyone else rotated over. It's a 5th round win for Heroic. It's starting to shape up to be a close game as Magisk goes for the Hero AK in this round. The only man with a rifle for Astralis. He has got a lot of weight on his shoulders in this one.
To be honest, it feels like Heroic are currently the more comfortable team. If it wasn't for that good start that Astralis had, well, we could be looking at a very different scoreline. Heroic have done well since they've got the full buy round out. And we're struggling in the economy game, but once they've had the guns in their hands, they've been looking very solid indeed. And whilst down, nice shot, flicks out to the left side and catches Magisk. An opening kill for Heroic. And I have to say, Alex, a point you brought up a little bit earlier on was the fact that Heroic were sometimes giving those opening kills away too freely. They've stopped that. They've tightened things up.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just been a complete turnaround from Heroic in these recent rounds. Again, in this one, they're still able to hold on to their nades, flash into the ramp. Great kill for Borat. That's the bomb dropped. And now the rotate can begin. They know the bomb is trapped on this B site for a long, long time here. Astralis have to come back to get this bomb, and they're burning. Down to half health. A flash again for Borat. Beautifully done. 2 kills on the spray. And the Stars have got nothing going for them in this round. Heroic with a 6th round win. They're really starting to get going now.
Yeah, this is a good game we've got on our hands here, Alex. I was starting to worry for the start that Heroic had, but as soon as they pulled those rifles out, they have looked very solid indeed. I love how that's even just a deagle round from Astralis, and Heroic are just sending Borup over the top with a flashbang to shut them down. These are the deagles just looking floundered. Borup, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And Astralis calling a tactical timeout. And we got 2 remaining. And a fun fact for you guys, Estetag's Eel taking him to Cloud9 was worth nearly 500 FAC new Dragon Lores, factory new. Well, that's pretty crazy. I think I prefer the real cash, Alex. I think I prefer the $2.1 million. It's pretty nuts.
You're a sensible man, I hear. See?
Give me Dragon Lures or $2.1 million. I think I'll take the cash. In an envelope.
In an envelope.
For envelopes.
Very nice. Oh, yeah. That would be a big envelope.
Yeah.
Back
Well,
into the
nonetheless, it's a quicker play from Astralis this time. They're changing it up and while running through the smoke. The Teslas with the first Estatar coming in. Nico following suit, but it's equal trades on this ramp.
Lots of early smokes from Astralis there to actually try and push up the ramp in the first place. I like this pace change. This is something I think we needed from Astralis, but it's still only into that 3v3, which isn't necessarily going to be great for them. This is where they go back to B, though. This is where they try and see if they can make it work back on that B site. The difference here is that it's not Borup anchoring the site anymore. It's down with the Orc. He hasn't been tested too much on the B site itself. The boost is about to come on up, and oh, they made some noise there. I'm not sure if Stown heard that, but he's having to watch both mid and B. That's making his life so difficult.
Well, Stown taking down Glaive. He'll be looking for another one on this horde. Dupree, a device, they run forward, and they've pulled it back somehow into an equilibrium. Missed shots from Cadian, and that is a big problem now as Astralis can hold in the 2v2. The bomb goes down. Cadian will not miss twice. He catches device in the cross, and now it is all Dupree. Can he win the round here? 1 versus 2. Cadian and Borup both coming back into the site as Dupree holds the first angle at generators. He's been dropped down to 42 for that HE grenade, and Cadian running over the top with a pistol. They double up from the same position, and Dupree goes down. It'll be a round picked up for Heroic as they tie things up 7-7. So looking for the AWP. There we go. Back on that defuse.
He's got it. He's got it. It's all good. It's really nice getting to see some more of this B site as well, Dinko, especially in the post plants. Because Astralis are struggling in some of these post-plant situations. They're not able to get off the site in time. They're getting trapped in those open positions where you don't have much to work with, right? You don't have many angles you can play behind. You don't have much cover. You're seeing Astralis struggle to get back to safety, struggle to get back to good spots for those post-plant scenarios. And that leaves them in this position, Dinko. Heroic, with the better buy into the last round of the half, they're looking like the team more likely to take the lead from the first half, especially with Cadian getting that early kill.
Well,
oh, wow.
Testis, that's a very good kill in towards mid. Glyph going down. Dupree's going to try and swing on by, but it's Nico this time. Heroic just have an answer for every question Astralis has for them. And this last round of the half has been a non-starter for Astralis. It never really got going. Heroic, I have to say, looked like the better team when the rifles came out. They have looked comfortable. They've shut down this T side. And Astralis, they have not really had an answer. Trying to figure out what they're doing on the defense. And well, there we go. It's 7 coming in. Heroic will lead the way going into the second half. A little bit of a shaky start, but we'll see if they can continue this good form as we head into the second. Thank you.
Je sais qu'un jour
Well, Heroic may have the lead from the first half, but last time these two teams played, Astralis were able to win 10 rounds on their CT side. That's where they got most of their work done. And look at this pistol round by Dinko. They've got 3 HE grenades on the pistol. If Heroic get nade stacked, they're going to be so mad.
Yeah, this could be messy. If Astralis show up in the pistol round with these nades, which they so often do, Alex, they are one of the best teams in the world at using utilities, so this could get a little bit messy for Heroic. We'll see what they have up their sleeve, though. Astralis setting up with the cheek grenades on this A-bomb site. Heroic a bit of a slower approach. Have to say, though, coming into the second half, you're just tuning in. Astralis got obviously a pretty hot start. They went missing as soon as Heroic got those rifles out. So it's on Astralis to sort of regain that momentum. It's on Astralis to try and get their way back into this game mentally. And we know how strong they are on the CT side, Alex. We know how strong they can be.
Absolutely. And the issue here, specifically in the pistol round for Heroic, is they only actually have 1 smoke. So these 3 nades on the A site, they can pretty easily put them in the right spot and potentially deny that bomb plant. Borup is lining up that 1 smoke now. All 3 players on the A site with nades ready to use.
Let's see if they do anything in this round. The nades go up over the top, a good bit of damage, but no kill. Kidian able to find a headshot. Essetine going down. Magisk able to reply. We've got ourselves a 4v4 with Heroic so low in HP, though. They're still alive. Eventually, Testis will be picked off. And now a 3v4 post plant for Heroic. This is not going to be easy at all. Nico on the flank. He has to get a move on. He has to go quite quickly as Astralis start their retake. The smoke goes onto the bomb. Stown holding the cross, but Nico, keep eyes on Nico as he starts to flank in behind. It's going to be Stown going down, so all the pressure really is on Nico on this flank. Smoke is up for the defuse. It's going to come through in the smoke. The kills may come in, but the round has been won by Astralis. They'll be finding the pistol. A chaotic one again. If you remember back to that first half, Alex, it was not the cleanest of pistol rounds. And it plays out the same way here in the second.
Who needs nades when you got ninjas, Dinko? Ninja defusing the smoke. Sneaky beaky like. But, as always, Heroic are going to be forcing. They got that bomb down. AK dropped over to Tessis, who's still buying. Nico also has money. He's going to get a Galil. Heroic took a long time to buy at the start of this round, though. So Astralis are actually going to be safe on the ramp to begin with. And this is something we rarely saw from Heroic on their CT side. Pushing up close, Astralis getting all the early information, all the early ramp control, and Heroic simply can't let this happen. They have to retake this control at some point. Otherwise, Astralis have just cut off an entire side of the map.
So much control to play with for Astralis at the start of this round. These second round buys can be so incredible if you get that bomb planted. 3 rifles in play for Heroic. They're going to be taking their time. It's a slower round from them. Liv and Essetag maintain the control at ramp. They don't give it up, and they have a Molotov to delay this. And now Heroic going to be sending their players in towards A. Liv needs to get the timing of the Molotov right. It's going to go down, but it's the spray on the MP9. The UMP trying to get through as well. They probably would have liked 2 kills there. They probably needed them. As now Magisk, the pressure falls onto him. Can he shut down this attack into the A bomb site? Heroic throwing the utility up. The smokes, the flashes, the Molotovs rin on in. And now the play comes through under the B bomb sites. Dupree holding on. Nico going down to the MP9. Dupree, just a couple of bullets left, and he still makes it work. Switches to the sidearm of the USP, and it's not enough to take down Cadian. Oh, little chance here for Heroic, but they have to go for the bomb plant immediately, and they've come off the angle. They're going to go for elimination. He needs the kill, and that's the opportunity gone. Magisk falls away. What a chaotic round again, right down to 1 player surviving for Astralis. And Heroic, they call for their tactical timeout. It's actually Heroic's first.
Oh, it's much needed as well. They're not going to be happy with how that round played out. Overcomplicating things, perhaps. They get the 2 kills towards A. I think Heroic maybe mind-gamed themselves, though, because Astralis' initial setup there pushed into the ramp. didn't feel like it was going to be that strong, right? You've got two SMGs holding close by, Glaive trying to throw the molly down, Heroic win those trades, which I think was kind of to be expected, seeing how those fights played out. But then I think Heroic may have assumed that they were going to be running into a full stack on the A site because of that early aggression. There's always the chance that Astralis are being sneaky and full stacking the A site. So they try and go back to B, and that's where Astralis just win one of the most Astralis rounds you'll see. They should not have won that one, but they managed to get it off the back of the time. They managed to get the round, and now it's anyone's game in this next one. Astralis have a couple of rifles. Heroic only have the one AK, but the buys aren't that dissimilar. It's pretty close between them.
Yeah, as it was in the last round as well, if you think about it. It has been a pretty similar story, a lot of similarities between the first half few rounds and the first few rounds of the second half. And Astralis won that battle of attrition. Now, Heroic looking to pull it back. It is more expensive to be a CT on average. So Astralis want to build up as much money as possible. They not only want to win this round, but they want to limit the casualties. They don't want to hemorrhage any cash. Well, as the target is going to go down, Liv will fall back, but he has to do some work here. They couldn't do anything in the last round, and he's been pretty quiet. He's 7-11 right now. I feel like there's some sort of fast food restaurant joke there, but I'm not going to do it. Imagine.
This is Europe, Dinko.
Yeah, exactly. No, a lot of people probably don't know what it is. And well, it's going to be Katie in a good spot, hoping for some aggression from Astralis to swing on by. He is ready for it. But Astralis sitting back. 4 versus 5. A man down into the round with 30 seconds left, Alex.
Another slow one, but Magisk is on an aggressive angle. Not anymore, though. Cadian wipes him clean out all around. Great flash from Device to be able to trade back, and Device doubles down on the bomb site. 2 rifles still alive from Astralis, but can they deny that bomb plant? I don't think so. Heroic are going to get the bomb down, but Astralis still have the rifles ready to try this retake.
Yeah, there's a kit on the site, but there's none on the 2 players currently alive. No utility either. So this is going to be a very difficult retake. They can't force Cadian out of position. They can't smoke off the bomb. They have to go towards that kit as well if they want to pick it up, and a little bit of time left on that clock. So this is starting to look rough for Astralis, and I think they're starting to consider their options and realize there's not too many of them. They're going to save, they're going to fall back, and Heroic, well, that's an important round for them. They're going to tie things up, and they don't let Astralis just walk away with things.
Both teams fighting hard at the start of this half. Astralis do save 2 guns, but the rest of the team really strapped for cash here. The problem for Astralis could be that with a $1,900 loss bonus right now, even if you just save this round, your players aren't necessarily going to have that much money. So maybe they're going to get tempted into the force buy. We're seeing them slowly make up their minds, and they do go for the full investment. That's up against all rifles from Heroic as well. 1 Galil in there, but AKs for the rest of the squad. The Device only has the Deeg holding mid early. Heroic have a couple of players here. Device spotting out the early information and deciding to fall back. Looks like we won't get any fights early into this round. But Astralis right now at breaking point in this one. If they lose this round, Dinko, Heroic should be able to reclaim control of this first half.
Slow approach from Heroic. No one wanted to be the player that gives an early kill away. Very tentative approach from Astralis as well. No one wanted to get aggressive. They don't really have the weapons for that right now. And Dupree, he's got the one of the 2 premium rifles in play right now for Astralis. Go down here with the AK. It's Bort that gets the kill onto Device, spamming through the wood. Now with 43 seconds left, Heroic, well, the map is theirs to play with. They're going to be turning their attentions back over towards A. Looking to finish on this bomb site. Currently, Esatag over here alongside Magisk. And this A hold has been a little bit weak for Astralis. A couple of times they went down without a single kill. A couple of times they conceded it. very easily. Now 20 seconds left. Heroic are sending their troops over here, looking to try and impact on this A-bomb site. They run forward. Borup so good at finding those opening kills. It's actually Nico that's picked it up, and Glyph, well, he's come through. Estetag, oh, getting a double spring through the smoke, trying to connect on some more, and they're so low in HP. Estetag can still win this round, but he's still sticking with a USP. He'll go for the reload, takes a deep breath, and gets right back into the right frame of mind. He'll move forward, and now jumping up on top of the side. Take note of the lack of kit. Take note of the lack of utility. He's got to force these fights, and they're not giving him a single chance to win this. Estetag will tap and try and pull them into the open, but this round is still perfectly played in the late round from Heroic. They've got this in the bag. Estetag, a nice few kills, but that's all he'll find in the round. Heroic will take the lead.
And to everyone watching at home, that is how you play that scenario if you are on the T side. Heroic don't give him a single fight. He never gets a chance to try the clutch Dinko. He's looking all over the place. He's trying to clear out these angles. And Heroic are just constantly repositioning, constantly finding safety. Estetag did such a great job to begin with as well. Sitting in the smoke, he nearly denied the bomb plant. That could have made all the difference. I thought we were about to get another one of those Astralis specials right there, where they rid around, they have no right at winning. But instead, Heroic stand strong, Heroic stay on top. Now Astralis have to go for this full save. And this economy is really important for Astralis, Dinko. They've gone for the full save here. But the reason they normally find so much success on their CT side of this map is thanks to the double AWP setup. They really like to get Dupree that AWP as much as possible. Sometimes he even takes the AWP instead of Device. I mean, in the last game between these two teams, Dupree went 13 for 1 on the CT side, in big part thanks to getting that AWP into his hands. So that's what Astralis is saving for here. There's not much investment into this round, and it looks like Heroic have figured this one out. They've spotted some early players at A. They're trying to see if they can make it back to B in time, although I think Astralis may arrive first on these rotates.
Well, Nico has taken down Magic's down, taking away Glyph's life, and following up for the double as well. And these pistols not really ever expected to do much. It was more of a formality that this round had to be played out. 11 rounds on the board for Heroic. And like you said, here comes the important one for Astralis. They'll be getting the buyout. They will not have that AWP unless Estetag decides to go for it. And I just don't think he will be picking that AWP up for a Device. So this should be the M4 coming out and the utility on board for him. I mean, there is weaknesses here for Astralis. Take a look at this buy. Number one, they don't have the AWP. Number two, the utility is in a pretty dire spot right now. They don't have much of it to play with.
And in particular, no kit for Astralis, which could definitely be a cause for concern as this round goes on. Early mid-smoke, which has a pretty big gap in it. Magisk is able to move up close. We've seen some flashes popped into these B stairs throughout this game. There's definitely the potential for that at some point in this round. But Heroic seem to have got the early map control that they would have wanted. They've taken B stairs, they've taken most of A ramp, but there's the flash we were waiting for. Dupree comes so close to getting that kill. Nico, a little lucky to be alive there, down to 30 health now, as a nade tickles him even further. But, oh, Tessus has got the entry on A. Cadian almost gets another, and Tessus is there to back him up. Two huge entries onto the A site, as Astralis is scrambling to get back into position.
Yeah, well, man down here for Astralis as well on the defense. They'll be looking for this retake, but no kit, like you said, at the start of this round. And while Tessus is going to catch out Glyph, just diving through the smoke. Oh, Astralis, they're desperate right now, and Heroic are going up to 12 rounds. Astralis will have to save again. It's Magisk, and it's Dupree having to save their rifles into the next one. And it's going to be 12 rounds for Heroic. And I have to say, Alex, it feels like Astralis at certain points have just been lacking firepower across the board as well. There's moments in towards A where Glyph probably should have done a little bit more. I feel like there's definitely a lot of those moments across the board. You know, Magisk is having a very quiet map right now as well in terms of individual performance, 7 and 15. This is a bit of a problem, especially with Heroic showing up across the board. Kidding is 21 and 10. Test is having 3Ks. Borup's had some huge entries. This team are popping off right now on an individual level, and Astralis haven't been able to match that.
Absolutely. Tessus has been one of the real surprises on this Heroic team, right? Playing an aggressive role a lot of the times, often that first or second man in. He's really good at occasionally just cracking those bomb sites with massive multi-kills, massive impact in that last round there. And you know what, Dinko? The surprising thing here is This Heroic roster is so stacked that Stound and Nico are technically the 2 highest rated players on this team in the last 3 months, but they're both bottom of the board right now.
Yeah, this Heroic team, they just have... Every single individual player is good at Counter-Strike. There's no one that you kind of look at and are saying, okay, he's a bit of a liability when it comes to the individual firepower department. Everybody can show up in this Heroic team, and that is very exciting to watch. When you have all the pieces and you have all the role players as well, and that all combined, you get a wonderful package of firepower that Heroic put on display today. 12-9 in terms of the score, but it is a 4v4 in round 22. Magisk and Nico getting kills for the respective teams. Now with under a minute left, Heroic are turning their attentions back over towards B. Glaive is going to be tested. He was on the A-bomb start a little bit earlier on, but now over towards B. Looking to see what he can do in this round. Smoke goes down, another push comes forward. Tested, going to be the front man into the charge, and Glaive trying to hold on. He hasn't seen anybody just yet. He hasn't been given a chance, and Gideon is just going to take him down. A 3v4. Astralis are falling like flies. That's the target device left alone, and there's nothing they can do here.
It was the half investment for Astralis, for what it's worth. They only had the 2 rifles, really, alongside the pistols. So it's not completely crazy that they lose this round, but it looked like they may have had a chance after the early trades. Not meant to be, though. As you said, Glaive isolated on that B site. Hasn't been playing there too often. He tried to drop that smoke. He didn't play it badly. It was just that Heroic was so quick at closing the distance. Yeah,
there was just so many players coming in from so many different positions. Glaive was trying to catch off the players running towards the site, but never really was given that opportunity. And now they have lost Esatag as well. It is just Device saving that AK. I feel like Astralis need a big hero play. I feel like they just need one of those big rounds from them to reinvigorate this roster. Been down and out, I feel, from the first half, really. It feels like Heroic have definitely had a few hiccups, a few hurdles they haven't been able to get over. But those are just little outliers in terms of the rounds that Astralis have been able to win. Other than that, Heroic, they've looked so comfortable here on Vertigo.
Well, this is that double up setup for Astralis I was talking about, Dinko. Dupree previously was so good on this B site, but he's missed the shot. Oh no, the B site is wide open now. Nico moving in, unable to get the kill. Glaive gets 2 on the trades. Back to a 3 versus 3, and Heroic slow things down slightly.
Yeah, the utility forcing them to slow it down, and now they will go forward. It's very important that Glaive gets a double there, but Stown has done it again. 2 kills for Stown in this round, 12-9. What a beast. And Device is left alone. There's nothing he can do here. It's all about saving that AWP. And like you highlighted, it was a double AWP investment. Device holding on. He could even go down here. He will take the kill onto Stown. Repositions back over towards CT. But again, back to the point, the double AWP setup, such a huge investment for Astralis. And it gets nothing done. Dupree misses that shot, is immediately punished. Glaive does well to find 2 kills, but they find nothing other than that, shall I say. And well, Heroic are up 14-9. The money is gone again for Astralis. And we are getting into a stage of a question of Astralis, can they get back into this, Alex? Is there enough room for them to wiggle their way back into this game? At this point, I think not. I think Heroic just looks so damn good.
Yeah, it felt to me like that would have been the round that Astralis would have won if they were going to come back into this. When they had the double AWPs, when they had that opportunity, but Heroic just upped the pace. Dupree misses the 1 shot, and instantly Heroic makes them pay for it. Remember, this was a 9-9 scoreline as well, Dinko. This has been a real streak that Heroic have put together on this T side. A very impressive streak at that. You pointed out some of the individual performers. Cadian at the top of the board is always a good sign for this Heroic squad. As someone who makes a lot of their calls, as someone who's very vocal on this team, you can see Cadian talking to his teammates now, making sure that everything is on point, because they know they are just 2 rounds away from taking their map pick and trying to keep this Danish rivalry alive.
If Heroic close this in this fashion, this is definitely where you can start to consider this.
We'll wait for the rest of the series, but it's exciting for sure.
A super exciting series. And well, Heroic, 2 rounds from victory. And Astralis, 4 rifles in play, 157 for Glaive and Device with the AWP. At the ready with Heroic to start to send their players through the bomb. At this A side, Testers. Oh, this is going to be a risky battle, but Device is not able to get the kill. Another player that has been extremely quiet by his own standard here, Device. Feels like he hasn't had a kill in a very long time. He had it in the previous round, but that was just an extra frag onto Stout. No real impact being delivered. And now there's just over a minute left on this clock, and one of the first times in a while hasn't been a kill. And as soon as I say that, Dupree takes down Nico. Opening kill for Astralis.
That's where Astralis are finding a lot of these early frags as well, with those flashes in towards B. Glaive would have loved to have got that gun as well. He only has a 5-7 in this round, but that's what he's going to stick with. While the rest of Heroic begin to group up around this A site. Still lots of nades for Astralis, though. They've got counter smokes. They've got counter mollies and flashes. They've got players stacked on this site. This is a good chance for Astralis on the whole.
Molotov down, and now the attack coming in is Device. Delivering a shot. He'll get a second as well. Essetai through the smoke is taken down. And it leaves Kadian alone, and he'll fall to Glaive on the 5-7. 10 rounds for Astralis. That's a very important round to win. Heroic have no money problems, but Astralis at this point just desperately need the round. So now they've got that double up setup back in play. This is a good round from Device, finally having some impact. You know, he has been extremely quiet so far in this series.
Oh my god, the Mac 10s. The Mac 10s. They have so much money, Dinko, and 3 Mac 10s.
This is Heroic all over it.
This is
fast. Charging out middle as well. Essetai going to be trying to hold on. Essetai, he will get one, but Kadian swings on by. Magisk with a double headshot. At least that's something. It won't be too chaotic right now, but a 2v2. Oh, this is just crazy across the board. Heroic just sent the Mac 10s to their deaths early on. And these AKs now left alone. But both players are extremely low in HP. And even more damage done onto Stout. Test is bringing the bomb over. We have a moment to catch our breath in this absolutely mental round. And Astralis, it's a double kill from Magisk that has put them into a solid position. I feel like if he didn't shut them down, that if he goes down even after one, Heroic will just have too much control over the round. They're going to bring that bomb, they're going to get it planted, and now 2v2 can play out.
I didn't think Furia were in Europe yet, Dinko, but apparently the SMG play onto the B site comes through. Device is still on this flank, though. They still have some nades in his hands. More importantly, he could still be in an unexpected position. Magisk taking the attention while Device takes the kill from behind. It's up to Stout, looking for the headshots. He needs the quick kills, and he's not going to get them. Astralis makes sure to win the retake. Even when it's Mac 10s running at them, they keep their cool for another round win.
That's pretty nuts, though, that Heroic are able to pressure them that hard with Mac 10s. I love it as well. It's such a different approach to Counter-Strike from Heroic. You have the money available for the full buy, but you just decide, no, we're going to go 3 Mac 10s into this round. We're going to run a super fast play and try and catch Astralis off guard. They think they've got one round on the board. They think this is their way back into things. Unfortunately for Heroic, it doesn't pan out the way they wanted. You see how much pressure they had to apply there at the end. Astralis had to focus up, and Device, that's a lit peek in towards ramp, and Kadian is going to take the frag.
Kadian is now 6 for 7 in his opening duels. He's won 6 out of his 7 early fights. He's been getting them into a lot of these rounds. It'd be very fitting if he got them into the round, which got them to map point as well. Man advantage taken, and it's even extended upon. Magisk finally able to trade, but Heroic had the advantage.
Well, they have a huge advantage, a 2-man advantage. Magisk is going to pull one back at least for Astralis. It's within touching distance as they hold on to the site, but Stout with a crucial headshot. It's all on Dupree. 1 versus 3. He's on the other end of the map. So, not fancying his chances here. Gonna be the save call from Dupree on the M4. Most likely, of course, no kit, no utility. It's all about just staying back in spawn and staying in a safe position. But Heroic, they'll reach map point on Vertigo, Alex.
15 it is. Heroic have it. All but guaranteed. I said earlier, yeah, that I thought last time out, Heroic probably should have won that Vertigo game. I think it was more just Astralis kind of breaking them mentally than anything else. But here, even when Heroic are in that position where they maybe could start to struggle to close out the game, where they could start to choke, they've not let it falter. They've let it come on through.
Yeah.
They've got their 15th round, but Astralis is still in this.
I have to say, it just is that MVP performance from this man on your screen. Cadian getting that opening kill on the device. This one is so quick. And now we get into things. Round 27. Could this be the round Heroic close Vertigo? We'll be heading to train a little earlier than Astralis would have hoped. Who knows? We'll find out in this round. And Heroic sending their players early towards this A bomb site. Multiple players walking this way. Astralis throwing that early utility. But Heroic are just going to keep walking up. Tessus and Borup. 2 front men for this Heroic roster.
This A-site hold has struggled at times. This time it's Device and Magisk. It's a slightly different CT setup, and Device is ready. Magisk also getting one of his own. Finally, Borup trades, and now Device is trapped. He has to fight his way out of this, but he's got a second kill, and it's only Cadian left alive. A 1v3 Dinko. This man has been brilliant, but surely this is a step too far.
Yeah, I think this might just be a little too far for Cadian, but we won't count him out just yet. We'll see if he can pull it off, and he's caught in the open. 12th round for Astralis. And I feel Heroic were just trying to get away with too much there. They just kept walking up the ramp. They were playing contact the whole way up to the site. And they were just given so much by Astralis. And Heroic, you sort of have to cut your ties at some point and realize, okay, now we just have to execute. Now we just have to go into this site. They kept walking up contact, and that's exactly where Device and Magisk were able to pull them apart.
Wow, that is a fun stat. Every Heroic versus Astralis series since 2016 has been a 2-0 either way. I mean, that goes back to that mental game I was talking about, Dinko. The fact that there have been so many 2-0s between these two organizations, obviously different lineups coming throughout, but still, that is a really cool stat to have.
Yeah, and of course, this version of Heroic probably much more deadly. I would assume that a lot of those other 2-0s were in favor of Astralis. But yeah, now it becomes very exciting because now we've got Heroic able to beat Astralis 2-0. But not overall. You know, that was a little bit of an outlier. Let's see if they can turn it into consistent success. Well, it's Dupree taking things in Astralis' direction. Nico going down early on with his B aggression paying off for Astralis. Oh, Cliv as well through the smoke. Borup, the next victim of Heroic, and this is not the start they would have been looking for. And this is the round where their economy is actually on the ropes.
Ooh, down, forced away by the flash, had to turn his back, and that's going to be costly. Dupree's pushed all the way through B as well. Oh, does Dupree spot the bomb here? I don't think he did, but I don't think it matters. It's a 5v2 for Astralis. They've got Heroic completely locked in. Now, Device hasn't spotted Cadian crossing, so Cadian's able to sneak up slightly, but Dupree's still on this flank. There's just no way. There is no way in hell that Heroic win this round, Dinko. Another shot for Device. Cadian this time left in a 1v5, which he won't win. And as you pointed out, that money for Heroic has finally run dry. They bought the Mac 10s to keep their economy strong. It's not strong enough, though. They're going to have to take a save, and it's looking likely that we might be going all the way to round 30.
Yeah, that's the most likely outcome right now. Well, it's pretty much it's confirmed. It's confirmed to be round number 30, Alex. That's why I'm going out. It's going to be a real risky prediction. 30 rounds we play here, Alex.
What, you don't think Astralis are going to lose to 3 Glocks and 2 P250s?
You know,
no?
I don't think so. I just don't think so, Alex. But this is pretty crazy, right? I counted out Astralis a little bit early on. To an extent, I said, you know, at this point, Heroic are looking so comfortable, they should be able to close this out. But I've learned the lesson again. You just don't count out Astralis, ever. You can get right back into things no matter what. I like that they're taking this as a bit of a pause right now, just talking over what they want to do heading into this next round. They realize this round will be conceded. But it's so important that Heroic try and close this here.
That's the thing when you're playing against Astralis, right? You can never let anything slip. You can never let a single round go past you, because that might be the round that actually costs you the game, even when you're really far behind. Heroic kind of felt that firsthand when they had, I think, a 12-6 lead on Vertigo last time, and they ended up losing the game. They know that this team are really difficult to play against. So I agree. Taking this as a full timeout, just a time to calm down, to talk things over. We even heard Maui pointing out on the desk how throughout his career, Cadian's been a pretty streaky AWPer. So we're not expecting anything out of this round. We're really looking at the next one. But let's see if Heroic can try and make it competitive.
Well, they probably won't, Alex. That's the...
They can try, Dinko.
That's
They
the
can
likely
try.
outcome. Here comes the Nito. Glaive looking to spray it down, and it's done. It's a very quick round in the end there from Astralis. They clean it all up. 14 on the board for Astralis, and we head into round number 30. Heroic, they will have the money available to them, either overtime or they close it here. We pack things up. We head to train. Heroic, I have to say, they will be feeling the pressure here. Astralis have brought them right to the brink. Even though Astralis look like a wounded beast, they don't quite look like the full team we know they're capable of being. This is still a team that you have to fear. They're coming right back into things. Now 1 round away from pulling it to overtime. I have to say, I think this A bomb site adjustment with Magisk and Device playing, ever since they did that, I feel like this A bomb site has been so difficult to take.
Dupree's decided not to go for that AWP either. I wonder if that comes back to one of those missed shots earlier. He's sticking with the AK. It could also be because he's fairly isolated on the B site right now. So having that AK is pretty much the perfect weapon if you want to try and get multiple kills from this quad spot. So that could definitely be a part of it as well. I love putting the AK in Dupree's hands here, because if he gets tested on B, you want to give him the best possible chance to get multiple kills. He's now got assistance from Glaive as well, if required.
Ooh.
But Heroic are taking their time, Dinko. They're not giving anything away. Plenty of nades left for Heroic here. 55 seconds left. Astralis are holding their utility as well, though. But in comes the push to the B site. Or maybe not.
Well, they're taking their time. They're going to be setting up. They should be finishing on this B-bomb site. And Glaive is going to go forward. He'll catch up Borb. He's giving them a huge advantage into this round. Alex Astralis are a man up. And there's 35 seconds left. They've still got to get rid of Dupree at the back of the site. But it doesn't matter if Glaive is just going to continue to shut them down. That's the second kill. And now Dupree, they're not even looking this way. Astralis have managed to do it. They pulled it to overtime. And it's not even close in the final round. Astralis have done it. They've pulled it back. And now it's time for a break. Heroic desperately need to sit back, relax, and refocus as they go into overtime. Overtime begins. Astralis have pulled it back yet again. Never count out Astralis. Heroic were looking good, but it felt like there was just a resurgence of individual ability from Astralis and some rounds pulled out of the hat. Glaive closes it in the final, and we find ourselves here in overtime yet again, Alex. Each and every series against Heroic and Astralis, it's a close one. And Heroic are going to have to do this in a very difficult fashion if they are to take their map pick.
Now, we've been keeping track of the AWPs on Astralis. Dupree has gone back to that secondary AWP for this round. Glaive has got aggressive over towards B stairs as well. And there's no one here for Heroic right now.
I just want to point out as well, we are in the RMR rule set, right? So the Valve ruling for overtime is, it's not 16k, it's 10k. So you can see it, this double up setup is such a huge investment. That's why there's no kits in play on Device and Dupree. They're going to try and keep as much money on board as possible. Though the $400 hardly makes a difference. It's all about winning this round. They have to pick this up. But they want to have strong economy. Well, the next few in this overtime, it can certainly become a problem on that CT side, especially if you wish to invest into this double op. Under a minute left in play already. A lot of time being used up in this slower approach from Heroic. You said it, Maui said it. Hidden can be a streaky op, but I feel like he's quieting down here. He hasn't been delivering quite as much as he was in the earlier stages of this game, so he's got to have some sort of reignition in his performance as Heroic look to finish on this A side.
Ooh, flash through, but Tessus gets the first kill. 1-for-1 trade, but Device is still here, and this angle is so strong for him. 2 kills for Device, playing this same position, and Heroic completely denied. Device with the 3k, and Tessus needs the A. Surely he can't get it. He gets another headshot, but Dupree arrives with that secondary AWP, and Device is dishing out the damage on that A site.
I said it. He was a little bit quiet and unimpactful for most of this game, right? Then he's just had this resurgence on the CT half. On this A bomb site, as soon as he gets in that spot, he has just been unstoppable. There's been so many rounds where he's just found multi-kills over and over again. And they win the double up setup. They win the first round here in overtime on that CT side. And that does mean Astralis will be able to keep this double up setup that has proven to be so potent for them. Heroic now in a situation where they have not got off to the best of starts. They are starting to lose that momentum. I feel like Astralis have picked them off the driving, out of the driving seat, off the steering wheel, Alex. They're now into a far better position. And Heroic have got to face adversity. They've got to pull this back.
Another buy comes through for them. Back out for Cadian, AKs of course, but the money isn't fully there in their back pockets anymore. Normally on the T side, you're okay, at least, even if you lose both rounds, but that's not going to be on Heroic's minds right now. It's all about winning this next one. Dupree taking this angle that sometimes you can get the pick in. Device also having a look into A ramp. No early pushes from Heroic yet. They've taken the B stairs control. A couple of early nades being deployed. Boost towards mid to clear out the construction position, but Esatag is playing up close, and Magisk is here to back him up. The boost comes in for Cadian, but if he strays too far out, he might go down. He just about... No, he doesn't. He doesn't get away safely. Magisk burns him to a crisp. Now it's Stown's turn to try the AWP.
Oh, well, Stown has to deliver. He's quite the nifty player with his gun in his hand, and well, it's not going to work out. Magisk and Dupree shutting it all down. Heroic yet again have just been dispatched with. That is not the round Heroic would have been looking for. Cadian getting a little unlucky. He was going for that risky play over the top of the boxes. The Molotov does not allow him safe passage back. And now Borat starts his 1 versus 5 affair. This doesn't look like a winnable campaign, and what? He'll get himself the first and the second, but he's got a play coming in from behind, and that's Device with the CZ putting him in his grave. 17-15, Astralis now looking for the flawless half. The money is in the bin for Heroic. And this is a big problem now, Alex. If they go down flawlessly to Astralis in this first half of overtime, I really do fear for their chances in pulling this back.
Borat being a team player, dropping the AK over to Cadian, who didn't have the money. He'll take the Tech 9 into this one. Astralis have the chance for the clean sweep in their first half of overtime. Down going for this early mid play. Again, it's the same mid setup for Astralis. They're putting 2 players here at the start of the round, and Magis baiting them into Essetag. It's Magis who wins the first fight. Cadian trying to see if he can reply. He's very low on health, and Essetag continues to go forwards, but it looks like Heroic have at least got away with the 1-for-1 trade, at least for now.
Well, Tess is that he should be winning this battle. He had the advantageous position against Glaive in that aggression. And this is the round Heroic looked the most comfortable in. This is the round they look the most competitive in, Alex. How does this make sense? It doesn't make sense. That is the answer. And what Heroic with the weaker weapons managing to hold on to this man advantage, but they still are going to be tested by dupreeh on this B bomb site. Switches out to the 5-7, wins the fight against Cadian, and now the push comes through. dupreeh repositions on the sidearm. He will not be able to get a follow-up kill as the target device are going to have to pull off a 2v3 retake of this B bomb site if they want a flawless half, and that is not too far off taking the kill, but Nico wins the aim duel against device, and the flank from Essetag, if it had been a little bit quicker, it would have been more useful, but now it is sought after. Nico takes him down. Essetag will fall, and it's 17-16.
That's a big deal for Heroic. Just getting that 1-round win helps them so much. At least they're not in a position where they just have to play for the second overtime. At least they were able to get that 1-round win through. This is where they have to try and recall what happened in that first half, though, Dinko. We switch sides again, and now it's Heroic's turn to try and rock that double AWP setup. You said earlier, Stown can be pretty nifty with that sniper. He has got the AWP in his hands, while Astralis decide not to go for an AWP on their T side. They're happy to stick with the 5 AKs for the T side of Vertigo. As we get back into the action, let's see where those AWPs go early. Cadian has been getting some early kills with the AWP. Not so much here in overtime, though. Early smokes down. TSS unable to really see too much. There's maybe a slight gap, Dinko. I'm squinting. I'm trying to see if I can see anything. I'm not sure it's going to matter too much because Astralis is still sitting back.
Astralis have been tentative on their T side, but they've got that opening kill. That's Testis going down, and now Nico, he's in a position where he could be caught out. Device is going to take him down, and now it's Cadian having to do a lot of work. Magis doesn't have a Molotov, but that HE grenade does so much damage onto Cadian. He's down to 17. Stown has taken down Estetag. It's still 3 versus 3, but look at that HP on the CT side. Borup, oh, nearly gets caught in transition. He will still get the kill onto Glaive, and that gives the man advantage to Heroic. As dupreeh swings onto the B-bomb side, he's been spotted, but still wins the aim duel. And now dupreeh and Magis, they're looking to pull the round off. dupreeh having to do most of the work into this B-bomb site, but he's not been able to do much more than that initial kill. So it's Magis now trying to close the round. He did damage onto Cadian with that HE grenade previously over on the A ramp, but now he needs to finish off the job. Cadian coming in with a flank. Magis not aware. He's not turning this way. Oh, might just get lucky on the timing, though. He's crossed by safely, and Cadian has not spotted him. 25 seconds. Magis climbing construction. Does he go back to A, or does he take this fight? He's stopped by Cadian, who comes up from behind. Magis not expecting the flank, and it's 17-17 as Cadian pulls off the clutch on low HP.
That round is just a brawl, Dinko. I'm not even going to try and break it down. It's just fights everywhere. It's just all about the 1v1s, and Cadian keeps his cool in the one-on-one scenario. I thought for a second that Magis was going to slip by him, but Cadian still gets the kill. And you better believe that Cadian is getting hyped up right now, getting fired up on the cons. TSS getting aggressive early. The spray through successful. He might get the chance for a second. Device is up on this angle, but TSS wants to go for even more here. He sees the smoke being thrown. He's playing behind it, and he's got the second kill. TSS now with the AK wants to go for more. He's still behind them. He's nearly got the third, but finally, Glaive puts an end to the madness.
Yeah, finally someone stopped him. Tess is just having a great time at the start of this round, shutting down 2 players from Astralis. And now a 3v3 plays out. Glaive down to 1 HP. Cadian takes down Device. And this round suddenly looks so good for Heroic. It's unbelievable, the fact that Heroic are looking like the team that would be taking map point first in overtime. Clear. But B is certainly cleared. Look at dupreeh's position. He's pushed up all the way past Generator. Borup needs to be aware of this. Once you've conceded that position, you have to be aware of this possibility. But will he expect dupreeh to come from this side? It comes down to the timing. Remember, Glaive is on 1 HP, so a lot of the heavy lifting has to be done by dupreeh here. There's still a man down into the round. So even if that bomb goes down, they've still got that 3 versus 2 retake. So it has to be the call. Bomb will get planted. Heroic should just wait for everybody to get congregated and ready to go in together. Use that man advantage. Dupree, like I said, has to do the heavy lifting here. Has a good angle to deal with the initial aggression. Still utility is available. Stan goes around the corner. He'll go down. Dupree nearly doubles up, but he's shut down by Borup. And now it's all on Glaive. 1 HP to try and win the 1v2. He's got the Molotov trying to delay, trying to run down the time. But it's Borup with the HE grenade coming through. The smoke for the Molotov. The defuse coming through. It's going to be close, but Heroic have pulled it off. It's 18-17. It's map point for Heroic yet again. Can they close it this time, Alex? They've only got one chance.
Yeah, and I thought Astralis were going to use their nades more proactively there in the post plant. They had smokes. They had 2 mollies. I thought they might try and lock Heroic out and buy a bit more time and maybe get that reposition, because even though Dupree was in the advanced angle, Glaive was on 1 health on the site. So unless Dupree got all those kills, that was always going to be the most likely outcome. And now it's Heroic who have fought strong and almost had the chance for the opening in this last round of the first overtime. Down fires wide on the first attempt. Tag holding back. Heroic were maybe thinking about going for some aggression. Cadian is still playing this close range angle.
Oh, no.
Looking for the fight. Oh, the quick switch almost cost him. It might be time to bail out, but Nico goes aggressive. 1-for-1 trade on the ramp. And maybe it's time for this to all calm down, Dinko. I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah, things need to slow down. If you're nervous, imagine what Heroic are feeling right now, trying to close this. Astralis, 4 players still alive. 4 players still towards this A-bomb site. Plenty of utility. Tessus, the player that had such an impact round in the previous, this time alive in the late round. We'll see what he can do on this A-hold. Glaive runs over the top. He's in the smoke. He's going over the top with a boost, and he shut down Cadian, and he gets away. It's a magic trick. No one even seen Glaive. No one knows where he's gone. And Astralis have the man advantage. Going for the bomb plant. Tessus jumps, and it's not going to be working out. Down with the kill on the AWP. Tessus trying to follow suit, nipping at the heels of the players falling back. But it hasn't been enough to make this round favorable for Heroic. They still have to push forward for this retake. Astralis have utility, the flash going up, the peak from Glaive, but it hasn't worked out. Tessus with the kill, traded back from Dupree, and it's chaotic in the last few moments of this round, but Astralis look to delay. There's no smoke for the Molotov. The time will tick on by, and Dupree is still alive, still finding kills, and now 1 versus 1, Device versus Down, and the missed shot is not going to be going in favor of Heroic. They cannot win this round, and we go again. It's overtime number 2 coming right up.
My God. These teams are fighting hard here, aren't they? They're putting everything on the line on Vertigo. I thought Tessus might be able to deny that bomb plant as well. I don't think they realized that Tessus was in that position, but in all the chaos, he ends up jumping. He must have accidentally hit that button, and that means the spray had no chance of denying the plant. It wasn't on to begin with, but maybe he could have readjusted. Instead, it's not going to happen, and now it's another overtime on the cards. Heroic sticking on that CT side. Who even knows what we're going to see in this second overtime at this point? Surely the teams have pulled out everything they have on this map. Surely it just comes down to finding the rounds, just grinding them out in any way possible. We've got the boost going early for Heroic. 1 man behind the sandbags. Vice is not happy. He's shooting that. What even is that?
A pin bucket, I think, maybe. Yeah, well, Nico, he's going to be forced off the boost. Right now, Heroic have taken the initial damage. Astralis, with 1 minute and 5 seconds left, still have plenty of time to work this round in their favor. They still have utility, but Cadian looking for his 31st kill. An aggressive peek, shuts down Device. He's going to go back for more. Cadian with a quick shot on the second. He will go back for a third, and that's a little greedy. He will be punished for it. Glaive shuts down Borup, and now a 3 versus 3. 48 seconds in play. Emotions on the line here for Heroic. You can see they're fired up. They're confident to take a lot of fights, but they need to curb them a little bit, right? They can't be going for those repeats time and time again. You can get away with it twice. That's incredible. A third time, not going to happen.
Yeah, Cadian thought he saw his name in the stars there, but maybe he just saw an Astralis round, because it's into a 3v3. Astralis can go back to B. 20 seconds left on the clock. Down still has full nades. That could help him on this hold.
Down, holds on. Oh, Glaive jumps around the corner, and that's going to offset The crosshair's down. He cannot take the kill. He'll miss the shot now. 5 seconds to go for the plant. They're going to get it done. Magisk with an important kill. Dupree follow it up as well. And these rounds are so damn close, but it's Astralis edging them out back to back now. Tessus moving forward into a 1v3. There's still smokes up. He still has a kit. The chance of winning this round is incredibly slim. And Tessus, he's not given anything. Astralis will be winning this round. He'll go down 19-18. Astralis head into the lead again. What a game, Alex. Just a reminder, it's day one of the groups.
It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it's day one of the groups, honestly. The intensity of this matchup, you can just feel how much it means for both of these teams, right? And this is a matchup we could maybe have later in the tournament as well,
Exactly.
which is such an exciting prospect.
Yeah, this is a very deciding matchup for the rest of how this group will play out, right? You have a look at this group overall. It's G2 and Endpoint. These two teams are the strongest teams in the group, no question right now. So this is the deciding matchup, and we get it straight away in day one.
How is Nico here? How is Nico here? We haven't seen much aggression from Heroic.
That's the bomb as well.
Watching for it. Ooh, almost the kill. Not quite this time for Nico, but everyone from Astralis turning their backs, and they get the kill. Nico doing damage, but not securing the frags. Such a shame for Heroic, because it looked like it was going to be the play that made the difference.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Astralis turned it around. Now they've got a two-man advantage into this one. Now they can slow it down. They're in a very comfortable position. Kadian going aggressive. He will not be able to pick anything up. Glaive comes back through with a headshot. And now it's Borpin's down. A 2 versus 5. Utility being used up in towards the site. 50 seconds on the clock. And Astralis have such a strong position right now.
Gotta be a save.
It has to be at this point. Heroic have no chance of pulling this off, and the money is in the bin. Astralis will be heading to a 20th round. Stone goes down. Every weapon that they lose decreases their chances of success, and it's Astralis now 2018, around a year we all took for granted, it seems. And now for Heroic, the money is in the bin, heading into this last round of the half in OT number 2. Starting to get really worried for this Heroic team now. How many times can they pull it back? How many times can they win when they're facing adversity, Alex? This is a true test of their mentality.
Yeah, if you've got some sort of pocket strategy, if you've got some sort of new play that you've got in mind, this is the time to pull it out. You don't have the weapons. You don't have the chance to win just on the individual duels, and we're already seeing that. Device gets the first. Nico, knife out in the smoke. Oh my god,
no.
Device is still sitting here. They don't know how close they are. They just touched. They touched in the smoke, but Device is the one who comes away with it. 2 kills for him, and only 3 more needed for Astralis to take every single T round in this second OT.
Yeah, this is going to be a 21-18 scoreline. If Astralis can just close these final few kills, and it's looking locked in now. It's just Borp, and he'll go down 21-18. Astralis, they keep edging these rounds out, and now if you're Heroic, well, this would be just unbelievable if they're able to pull this back and get this under their belt. This has been a heartbreaking showing for Heroic. They've had so many map points, but Astralis every single time have pulled it back. And now they have 3 opportunities, Alex, to take this one away.
If you're going to shoot for the king, Dinko, you can't miss. You can't miss those chances when you get the chance to close out the game, or Astralis will come right back at you. And we're seeing that in full force here. Astralis with 3 map points on Vertigo. Heroic sleeping a little bit at the start of this round. Not a bad idea to keep it slow after those previous rounds went so against them. I like this boost as well. They've done this a couple of times. Glaive might be ready for it, but you can slide out. You can get a fair fight, and it's more than a fair fight. Glaive's down to 22 health from that one.
Oh, look at the nade,
Nice
though.
nade, yeah.
So much utility damage coming in from Astralis. That's going to force down and Nico back. Glaive somehow still holds the control of middle, even after being dropped down to 22 HP. Forced away by that duel on top of the boost. Now with under a minute left, Heroic are turning their attentions back over to this A site. Astralis are going to have to hold on. This can be the win for Astralis. This can be Vertigo going their way. The map pick of Heroic falling through their fingers after so many map points. Estetai gets aggressive, a follow-up kill as well. Estetai shutting them down, but finally is gotten rid of by the hands of Tessus. And now Device going towards short, shut down by Nico. And the dream is still alive for Heroic. They're not down and out just yet, but there's 30 seconds left, and that bomb is alone towards short. Astralis have a chance to close it here, Alex.
Second smoke onto the site. Nico about to get that bomb planted. No more nades, no more bullets for Magis. But they're thinking of pushing through this. They've got the flashes. Tessus blind on the other side. Borup gets another kill. 3v2 for Heroic. Tessus still holding the line, still waiting patiently. Even more smokes to the site. And look at where the bomb is planted. It's not the best position here, but the kill comes through anyway. Glaive not going to get it done. Heroic stay alive, but they need more where that came from.
21-19, Heroic. First step in the right direction, Alex. Like you said, they need plenty more where that came from. If they are to pull this back to another overtime, if we are to continue this marathon.
For Astralis, though, right? They lose this.
Yeah, true. And it's a real possibility that Heroic could pull this back to another OT. And Gideon and Nico, what a start! 2 opening kills. It's Glaive and Dupree down early on into this round. And Astralis, they've got a lot of heavy lifting to do now. 5 players from Heroic stand against the 3 of Astralis. Just a couple of seconds into this round. Oh.
This could work. Estetai 1v1 fight. You take those chances at this point in the round when you're down so heavily, but it's not a fight he wins this time. Device trying to see if there's any way back, if there's any kill in this one. But the more likely opportunity is more for the save. As we pointed out, the money not there for Astralis. They're going to have to play the odds here. They're going to have to try and see if they can save these 2 guns to give themselves the best possible chance in the next one. Otherwise, we could have another overtime. I'm not going to say it too soon, Dinko. I'm not going to jinx anything. There's a chance.
Hey, you don't want to be doing that. You'll get some angry fans in you, Alex, but Heroic.
Hey, I'm a fan of Heroic too, so I'll be angry at myself, okay?
Well, Magis holding on. He's got a good position for this. So at least try and survive. He will take down Nico. He's stuck in a rock and a hard place, it seems now at this point. He's done well to find those 2 kills. The 3rd player behind him's down. He will just be too much to handle. Device at least saving the AWP most likely here. Should be no problems for Device. Getting that open to this next one was crucial for Astralis. They have a chance to win it now, but it's looking a little unlikely. They've had better opportunities, that's for sure, Alex. And Heroic now in a position where they could pull it all the way back. We could go again.
We absolutely could. Heroic full focus ahead of this round where Astralis have a couple of rifles. Device with the saved AWP as you were talking about. Early fights towards B. Cadian flashed off the angle, but his teammates will take the position into the stairs. A bit of nade damage done onto Borup. Nothing too crazy though. And as it stands, it's 2 SMGs on the B bomb site. The push is about to come in. There's a bit of a stack here for Astralis. Dupree up close, gets the first kill. It's actually Estetai that stole it away, but they don't care. They're getting all the kills they need. Trade's continuing, but Heroic have to fight back.
Well, 3v4 is still a chance for Heroic, but looking unlikely with Glaive, but he's caught with a nade in his hand. Estetai will get the trade back. A 2v3, a man advantage still here for Astralis as that Molotov deploys. You start to see the pressure building for Heroic. Have Astralis managed to pull this off? Heroic looking for one more round to go again in overtime. Device wrapping around the backside of the bomb site. He hasn't found the angle just yet. Borup is pushing up on this right side. Device, if he finds this kill, that might just be the punch that knocks out Heroic on Vertigo. And Borup around the corner, just biding his time. That bomb has fled the scene. It's going elsewhere. It's grouping up. And while it's coming back, at least try to fake it away, Alex. It's coming back, Kitty, and now looking to regroup. There's only a couple of seconds left here. 26 on that board. Missed shot from Device. That's an opportunity now for Borup. The headshot comes through as Device goes down. And now a 2 versus 2. Molotov deploys towards construction. That'll keep Estetai at bay. Magiskin behind him as well. And now it's a 2v2 retake. Can Astralis close this, or will it be Heroic sending us to another overtime?
Cadian getting up close. Borup holding the back line. Shots fired. Gives away his position. Cadian up close. Gets the first headshot into the 1v1 for the game. Borup still holding back while Magisk has to make the move. He knows where the man is. He's still trying to close in. He's still trying to go for the kill, but he can't find the angle. Borup buying the time and Borup landing the shot. We go again, Dinko. This game is not going anywhere.
We cannot find a victor, it seems. So many map points for both of these teams, and they haven't been able to take it over the line. Vertigo will not slip through Heroic's fingers, it seems. They keep pushing forward, and they've still got a tactical timeout. They've used it up here, Alex. They're going to be pulling it out.
That's mad.
That is so crazy that they've still got a tac timeout available. Over here for Astralis, it's a double up setup. You can see he's just walking around the room a little bit. Borup put some refreshments in the fridge. He's got his Coke. He's ready to go.
This looks like a matchmaking game for Borup, man. He's,
like,
he's getting a drink, getting himself ready.
Like, oh, next we go again. Overtime number 3. It's good to see the Heroic are calm and ready.
Get the replay at the end. I mean, this move from Heroic as well. How about that move to fake the bomb going back? Astralis bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And then Borup had to win that 1v1 fight, takes Device out of the round. Then it came down to even closer fights at the end. Heroic did everything right there to win that round, to pull themselves through, and to bring us into this position where we get another overtime. We are getting treated today, Dinko.
Double stack in middle from Magisk and Glaive right now. This is an interesting setup. One, Heroic will pressure. Now it's just Magisk looking for that initial kill. That's the bomb going down, and the first kill is Astralis to play with, but it's a quick trade from Cadian. Device looking for that info towards the bottom of the ramp. The AWP scoped in, and now Heroic sending players out towards mid. We've got Cadian at the front line. They'll start to push forward. They had the initial setup with Glaive and Magisk both here, but now it's just Glaive left alone. Further back towards elevators, peeking down in towards middle. Heroic are going to send a couple of players this way, and Glaive is about to be pressured. Utility should come through, the smoke, the flashes. Molotov, in fact. And Glaive will have to throw his smoke. Now Heroic, perfect executing towards this mid position. Glaive is being completely manipulated into position, and they're about to walk through this smoke to A. This could work out for Heroic, but Astralis are aware of this possibility. They're looking for the spray down. Glaive gets the double kill and the bomb. And now it's Borup and Nico trying to scrap this round back. They'll find kills. It's Nico on the double, and now Tiger Device. Can they shut this round down? 10 seconds. Quick shot from Device. It's all on Nico, alone in a 1v2, and there's 9 seconds to play with. He has to sprint for the plant, and Tiger up on top. It's still a headshot, but there's no time to win the round, and Device just falls away. It's Astralis with 22 added to the tally, and Heroic yet another close round not going their way.
How are we seeing new T rounds from Heroic in overtime, Dinko? They've not done that before. They've not gone for that A play through mid. It is a very risky one, though, for that exact reason you see there. Device is just pushed up on short the entire time. He's not pressured from ramp. He's not pressured from the A side. So he can just sit on the site, spot for the bomb, and land a couple of important kills that make the difference in that round. Astralis kept the first round of the third overtime. The magic number we are now looking for is 25 for either of these two teams, and Device is out of there. What a shot from Tessus.
As the tide moving forward, Tessus and Nico with the kills, crushing this round for Astralis. Glaive will try his best. He was the MVP of the previous round with his huge multi-kill. But in this one, no one from Astralis having their moment. It's Heroic that shut them out. Dupree and Glaive group up together, looking to see if these two M4A4s, as Heroic will tie things up yet again. We are even on the server, Alex. I think we're 1.5 hours in, maybe a little bit more than that at this point, maybe 1 hour and 45, and we are still on map 1. This has been a battle.
I don't think I believe in time anymore, Dinko. I don't think it exists. I watched Tenet, and now I'm just, I'm pretty sure I'm just in some, I don't even know what time I'm in. I feel like I've seen the same rounds so many times.
Well,
oh,
that's unfortunate. Now it's Dupree. He will get into the next round. 22-22, tied up on the server. Heroic with the AWP out for KD. The AK-47's out with a plethora of utility. Take a look at Astralis right now.
Astralis have a timeout as well.
They had one left, yeah. Heroic still have a timeout left, I believe. So
They do.
That's pretty nuts. We are heading into the latest stages of any match so far. And both of the teams still with timeouts available. This is a true battle. The kills, they're pretty similar across the board.
Cadian's still up there at the top, but not by far. Well, Dupree getting a lot of early headshots.
Just looking at Astralis's buy coming into this round, Alex. You don't have much faith in it. When you look at this, it's not fantastic. Heroic should be favored to take this round. Astralis will see what they can muster with a FAMAS, an MP9, an AWP, and 2 M4s as they swing out middle at 4, put the initial headshot, shutting down Glaive, who's been so impactful from this position. Cadian finding the follow-up as well. It's still doable for Astralis, having done the damage onto Cadian. Keep eyes on the position of Esatag at the sandbags. He's still unchecked. He's unchecked still. Nico about to walk into the line. Standish. Oh, Esatag will take the kill. Came a little close that. He's able to pick it up, nearly shooting his own teammate. But Cadian shutting down Device. It's a 2 versus 2. And this round again is a crazy one. But Heroic have found an avenue to the B-bomb site. They'll get that bomb planted. And now we're down to another scenario when it's a 2v2 retake for Astralis.
I'm so impressed with these mid-round calls from Heroic. They're making the right move every time. Now Cadian just needs to land a shot, and he's got it all day, every day. And Esatag has 2 health. How is he going to win this?
Well, that's a question that he will look to try and answer. 2 health. And he'll check out the right side, pulls an air, crosses into the open, and Stown shuts him down. Heroic into the lead, heading into the second half now. Just by 1. 23-22. We're looking for the magic number of 25 right now, Alex. See which team can take this over the line. So Heroic need 2 more. Astralis still a chance to win here. There's an uphill battle for the T side. 10k overtime has certainly contributed to a lot of these rounds, and a lot of the overtimes. I feel the money becoming a problem in the last few rounds of overtime has come through in pretty much every edition we've had here.
Yeah, it's certainly been a factor in some of these, that's for sure. And again, just touching back on that point that Heroic have been really impressing me in those sort of mid-round scenarios. The thing that's most impressive about that to me is that generally that's where the inexperienced teams struggle the most. You can maybe have a strat that gets you into the round. You can have some good ideas to begin with. You can practice those on the server. But those are sort of scenarios that are evolving as the game goes on. You have to get the right read on the situation in the moment, on the fly. And Heroic have been doing that in some of these T rounds, setting themselves up to only need 2 more on their CT side. Early fight, but Stown's been caught out. Dupree gets the kill, even though he took the leg shot. Borat was up close, thinking about maybe going for something, but it looks like a clean pick for Astralis.
Yeah, Astralis off to a good start. Heroic. Taking a look at what the utility they have available. They still have so much of it. They can still delay this from Astralis. And this peek down towards mid, this is going to be one of the most decisive duels of this round so far. Dupree's not going to actually end up having to take it. Nico backs off. Another rotation coming over towards A from Heroic. They have the utility at the ready. 54 seconds left. They look to delay this attack from Astralis.
50 seconds. Astralis don't have to commit, and there are so many nades on Heroic, as you said. Getting this bomb down is going to be a task, a challenge in and of itself. But Astralis want to see if they can get that bomb planted.
Well, the utility coming in. Glaive trying to get that bomb down, but it's denied by Borat. The edgy grenade comes sailing in, and Glaive is shut down. Astralis will have to go and try and recover that bomb again. He's still got time to do it. They've got the man advantage as well still. And Heroic is biding their time. Now they swing on by. Texas with an important kill, but he's shut down by Device. Quickly following up, but it's Nico coming through. Magis getting caught. Dupree on 15. Device on 30. And this is a round that Heroic can certainly pull off in this retake. Dupree and Device, elevated positions. Smoke goes onto the site. He's not quite covering the bomb fully. Nico's going to try and touch it. That Molotov forcing Cadian back, and the defuse trying to be stuck here for Nico, but he's shut down by Dupree. Astralis will be tying this scoreline up 23-23. We keep going. Nothing separating these two teams.
Ooh, Dupree so close to dying to the bomb as well. Not that it matters that much. But it's all about that A exec. And I thought that Heroic were going to have a good chance on that retake, but they just took so much time getting towards the site. Nico was hoping he could maybe stick the bomb in the smoke, but Dupree was just clinical with that kill. You're not going to catch Astralis out like that. And that means one of these teams needs both of these next upcoming rounds. Otherwise, we would have another overtime. Tessa's getting aggressive towards the ramp early. Smoke goes down. He's been able to get some kills off this smoke previously. This time, that won't be happening because Magisk has just taken him out through the smoke. Nice shot at the start of the round for Astralis. Another clean kill. Another clean 5v4 for this Astralis lineup. And we know how good they can be at converting these.
That's the tag. Towards the top of the B stairs, around the corner is Borb. Oh, he's going to whiff the spray, and that opens up an attack, an avenue in towards this B bomb site for Astralis. Glaive taking down Stown. Nico trying his best to scrap together what he can for Heroic, but Astralis have locked themselves in the B site. And it's looking like the round at this point. Dupree is holding off Cadian, who will take the kill, but Glaive is the second player there. He doesn't let Cadian walk any further. Nico now forward, looking for the quick shot, but Glaive chops his head off, and it's 24-23. Astralis into the lead again, Alex. Map point yet again. One opportunity. Can they take us to train? This is map number 1. This is Heroic's map pick, and Astralis have brought it to map point again.
And Heroic's money is in trouble again. Cadian gets the AWP out. Couple of FAMASs in there. MP9 for Stown and a Deeg for Boris. That is what Heroic are relying on to keep them in this game. And it's the wrong boost. Oh, no! Why are you doing that in overtime in what could be the last round? Dinko, Henry Greer may not be here, but I know what he'd say if he saw that play. What a blunder.
That certainly was. What a risky time to pull it out for Astralis. I mean, you got to respect it. But I'm having a difficult time accepting it. Astralis not making it work. That man advantage handed to Heroic. And Cadian has shut down Glaive. We might just... Well, we're getting another overtime. Magisk and Estetag to the last two remaining players. And yet again, it's overtime coming right up. Estetag left alone in a 1 versus 5. And Astralis, what a weird round to pull out a run boost. What a weird round to pull out any risk. You were given the advantage in the economy. You were one round away from taking your opponent's map pick. And we head into overtime number 4.
You know, I think a normal Counter-Strike game, Dinko, it feels like a feature film. You know, you get a good start, a good middle, a good end. This is more like Lord of the Rings right now. This is a long, long game, and it really does come down to the endurance at this point. I mean, you can understand why teams go for that run boost, right? It gets you that early control towards B stairs. Yeah. It can be very successful at getting that early kill. It's just in that scenario, right? You know that Heroic's money is probably in trouble. I don't think you need to take that risk, but hey, that's what Astralis decide to go for. And now they've got to go into another overtime. Who's even counting at this point, Dinko? I don't even know. Are we in the 4th overtime?
We are indeed in the 4th. It's first to 28 rounds here. And overtime number 4. The player's taking a little bit of a break now at this point. You cannot blame them. This has been an absolute bloodbath.
I think I heard about one of the NA pros having a bunch of their own like signatures just on their wall or something. I think it was Floppy maybe. He just had a bunch of signed pictures of himself on his wall, which is kind of baller.
Yeah, and narcissistic, but nonetheless.
I could say that.
Interesting. I have to say, what a performance from Cadian, breaking 40 kills now, 41 and 28. He has been very, very impressive on the AWP. He hasn't really slowed down that much either. looking for the magic number of 28 rounds. And at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we're here all night, Alex. This has been a game that will not end, a game that keeps on giving, and will continue to do so as we get into overtime number 4.
I hope you guys are sitting comfortably at home. Should have given you that warning at the start of the game. We might be in for a long one. Like you said, Cadian's stats, incredible in this game. He's still stayed strong in those opening duels. He's won 8 of those early fights. He's only been the first man to die twice. That's a really high success rate for him. I think Tesses has been doing a lot of good work in his opening kills as well. A lot of the time running in first, getting a bunch of those important frags. Let's see if he can do it again here, because there's one more overtime at a minimum that's going to be played out between these two teams. Tesses playing up close towards short. This double AWP setup coming through for Heroic. And a nice slow start to this 4th overtime.
Utility running on him from Heroic early on to force the Astralis players back, and Testis look to try and follow up on the fleeing players. He's dropped down. He's not scared to take these fights. We've seen this from Testis time and time again, but this time he's going to be caught without a single kill. Not the start Heroic would have been looking for. They've lost that one player. Testis has been dying more than he's getting kills. It is a pretty prominent factor of being an entry fragger and playing in the roles that we've seen him in consistently. But nonetheless, Nico moving forward, trying to find that kill for Heroic. Magisk goes down, but Device finds the follow-up kill, keeping the man advantage in play for Astralis. Gideon, the top fragger on the server. He's over towards short. He's got a good position here with his AWP. Smokes up, Molotov's deployed. 37 seconds left in play, and Astralis still hold that man advantage.
Cadian deciding to fall back, but as soon as these smokes bloom, well, there's only one smoke. Oh, Cadian's actually going to have a clear line of sight here. A chance. Oh, never mind. No chance. Dupree's on the flank, and it's got to be the save. We've talked about that CT economy before, Dinko. Surely it's a save call.
Yep, it has to be at this point. You lose that first round on the CT side of 10k overtime. If you invest fully into it, you're going to be in a rough spot if you lose this first one. It has been a problem throughout overtime so far for both of these teams. Heroic actually came out worse for wear in the previous overtime, but still won the round and forced us to another. Astralis will be the first team to grab a round in OT number 4. It's down holding for Device. Oh, Device is going to evade that death. It's down, just trying to hold on desperately. Borup holding for Device, who eventually will find death. He was searching for it, that. And Borup trying to hold on. Players now running down his position. Dupree, he'll fall as well. Decent job done by Borup, but this AWP needs to stay afloat. This AWP needs to stay alive. And it manages to get into the next round. 25-24, Astralis into the lead.
I love that Stown doesn't take the shot there. No need for it. Just stay alive. He hasn't seen you. You can just pretend you haven't seen him too. At least that is the AWP saved over. In terms of Heroic, though, once you get into these overtimes, you are going to have rounds like that where the aggression just isn't quite timed right, you know? Tasses goes for the initial spray, unsuccessful. Nico goes and follows him up just a little bit too late. They can't fight together. They're not going to give up on the ramp that easily. Nade damage done early into this round. Cadian's still playing up close, but Device has closed the distance, and Device has got the kill he was looking for. Flashed in on the angle. Opening kill again for Astralis. It's a scary situation for Heroic to be in.
Device put a lot of pressure towards Sandbags, using up quite a bit of utility just to clear that. Near comes in. That's going to do quite a bit onto Tiger Device. Not exactly how that one was meant to go. They're even good at utility damage on each other. And Dupree makes the jump noise. Down now pushing forward into the waiting arms of Dupree. Down is thinking about going around this corner, and Dupree lays up the trap. Down walks right into it. Another kill for Astralis, a 2-man advantage. And 50 seconds left as Dupree is just cutting through them. That's 2 kills. Cadian coming back in with an important kill, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough here for Heroic. They have to go and be monumental on this hold. As Cadian with 1, Estetite though with the double, and it's 26-24. Astralis starting to put rounds together now, starting to edge it out consistently. Heroic, by coming into this last round, will have some evident weaknesses yet again. This time, Astralis have more to play with.
Dupree just giving out free haircuts at top mid. 2 headshots, spotting out both of those players. Clean kills on both of them as well. That makes all the difference in that round. Just having one man lurking mid, getting those 2 kills is such a massive benefit to the team. And at least Heroic have a little bit of a better buy than we've seen from some of these teams previously. Obviously still some struggles for them, but Kavian has managed to push all the way down B. Taking away that area of the map from Astralis early. That's forced a response. Speaking of a response, Device going aggressive and landing the headshot. Confidence personified in that peak. Takes an easy kill. And yet again, Dinko, in all 3 of these rounds now, Astralis have been able to find the opening pick. And the response from Heroic is a full-on rotation to this A site.
It's down looking to grab control. He's got a different position now in towards this A site. Under a minute in play for Astralis. They're on the B bomb site. They've completely walked over here with no problems, no resistance from Heroic. This looks like it's going to be a flawless round from Astralis. And while there it is, Dupree with a headshot, Gideon going down. They'll look for another kill. Nico tries his best, but Dupree was in position to shut down the rotation. And now Borup and Nico is all that stands in this last round. Let's see if they can make it work. Astralis looking to grab map point yet again. This time, they'll have 3 opportunities to close it. Borup and Nico walk forward into the B-bomb site. Device is low, but the rest are not, and that is impossible, impenetrable, as Nico will try and move forward. He tries his best, but it's not enough. Astralis will be reaching map point yet again on Heroic's map pick. 3 opportunities, 3 chances to take this one over the line, to send us to train. I'll forgive you if you forgot this is map number 1. We've got plenty more Counter-Strike to be played tonight. And we are going on 2 hours for this first map of the series. What a game it has been. And Astralis, the prime opportunity to close it.
And that was that exact play I was talking about earlier in the game where Astralis pressure the A site. Because Device is so far forwards, he can put all the pressure on A. They can walk back B and get the site for free. And now Astralis with every chance to close this out. Look at the early damage. Nades have taken Heroic down so low. Nico's on 12 health. Borup down to 50. I think some shots might have landed as well in the midst of all of these early battles towards ramp. It's not a clean kill this time for Astralis, but they're still doing a lot of early damage.
No kills yet, but the damage is evident. Just over a minute on this clock. Astralis throwing the utility in. Oh, it's going to catch Nico. That's the opening kill Astralis were looking for. They're going to hold on to it. Heroic not in a position to find that refrag. And now we're starting to feel the pressure really mount for Heroic. A man down into this. They haven't been able to win a round in OT number 4. Is this finally where Astralis break their back?
This could be it. 33 seconds. TSS throws a flash out to A, but the bomb is back at mid. Heroic don't have much time left. They have to get a kill quickly. Borup moving up. Dupree waiting patiently. First shot lands, and there's more where that came from.
Gideon, he's going to go down. Magic swings on by. Now it's just Testis and Sound trying to get this round over the line for Heroic, but it looks impossible. Astralis have done it. They will be picking up Vertigo. They're sending us on to the second map, and the marathon concludes. It's Astralis that walk away as the victors. Heroic, so many map points, so many great rounds. What an incredible map of Counter-Strike being played in our opening game for this group. It has just been an incredible showing from both teams in a battle that I feel so bad that there had to be a loser.
I don't even know if there's anything we can specifically break down at this point. After so much Counter-Strike was just played, I will say the one thing that really seemed to change in that last overtime was Astralis getting those opening kills, those clean 5v4s in every single one of those rounds. And they converted, and now they get to head into train 1 map to the good. They've got to be feeling great.
They definitely do. Well, luckily, Alex, we don't have to break down every single round, but there's a lot to digest. It's time for a short break, but once we're back, we'll have the thoughts of the desk to break down this incredible map of Counter-Strike.
night.